neighbor!
I'm Ariela Allen.
And I'm Alana Jones.
This week, I attended the Board of Trustees meeting and caught up with ClimACT, who was also at the event. Then, our correspondent from 90.5 WASU, Zachary Masters, sits down with the new Dean of Fine Arts and Applied Arts, Dr. Campbell.
Plus, our own Ryan Perrone has a chance to talk to the new general manager of Ep3. Then follow me as I help you find beautiful spots on the Parkway just in time for peak week. Join us as we say, "Hi, neighbor!"
This past weekend, Appalachian State students and faculty, as well as residents of the local Boone area, took to Sanford Hall and the Plemons Student Union to protest a Board of Trustees meeting. The group, representing ClimACT, attempted to sit in on the meeting to share their opinions and views on what the university is doing when it comes to the environment, but were unable to sit in. Our very own Ariela Allen spoke with some of the members of the protest to learn about what exactly ClimACT is and how many residents of the high country view Appalachian State's actions towards the environment.
Could you tell us a little bit about what ClimACT is?
Yeah, so ClimACT is a community organization. It's mostly built up of students, faculty, alumni, and other community members, and we're focused on using our institutions, like transitioning our institutions' resources to be used for public good, and specifically to be used to take drastic and immediate climate action.
What are some implementations you'd like to see the university implement to be sustainable?
It does a really good job at portraying itself as that and publicizing itself as that, when in reality it's false. They have very few percentages of real renewable energy. They are encroaching on a town that is too small for it to take, and community members aren't having it. And, there's tons of students who are struggling to get food and pay their bills, and meanwhile our ecosystems are getting stressed by the population that comes up here for our football games and the students that come up here for school, and App isn't doing anything to mitigate those damages or using its immense resources to take action to create alternatives that would fix and create better worlds.
We obviously encourage the right to protest, the right for our organizations and our groups on campus to stand up, make public statements, show up in this type of matter to voice concerns when they think the university's not doing enough. It's my role as SEA president to try and find the common ground. Where can we grow? Where can we move? As you see, the trustees weren't receptive to the actions of ClimACT, so it's on me now and my job to do a lot of work behind the scenes. Try to work with our administrators, try to work with individuals within the organization, and let's see if we can get some things moving in terms of sustainability.
I know ClimACT came out today, to talk about the fact that, the Board of Trustees weren't able to talk to them and, really have that communication about, how climate action disproportionately affects students here. And what I tried addressing was how it affects our students of color, our communities of color, and BIPOC individuals. Listen to students of color, listen to the younger generation, go out, search out. I know plenty of these students are on TikTok. There are plenty of climate change activists out there. We won't go that far. There's plenty of indigenous, influencers, all that good stuff. Listen to those individuals. They're the people that have, been here from the very start of our planet. It's time to listen to BIPOC people and speak up and rise up.
Many students decided to speak outside of the Board of Trustees meeting, sharing their opinions and solutions on how to solve the climate crisis in Boone. Some suggested that they just do it themselves, and others suggested that they work with the trustees directly in order to find a sustainable solution for the high country. Either way, many students had their own ways of speaking on this subject.
The poem is called Keeping Quiet. It's by Pablo Neruda. And quite honestly, I had no specific reason. It's always spoken to me and kind of been my a grounding poem in how I think about and how I kind of go about climate action. And even working with people who seem to or feel to be on the opposition, telling them that they're not on the other side, is that we want to join them, that they need to stop the destruction of the environment, and we want to stop climate change. That this isn't just this isn't a choice, this is a crisis. And so we want them to join us in building a better livelihood for all. And And that is what that poem, Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda, just speaks to me.
Whether or not change comes about as a result of this protest remains to be seen, but these Appalachian State students and the residents of the high country can come together to pull a positive out of this weekend. They were able to come together to peacefully protest a major issue affecting not just Boone, but the entirety of the United States. I'm Noah C. Cornelius for Hi Neighbor. Bye, neighbor!
Coming up after this short break, we meet 2 new neighbors in town, and we're so excited for them to become a part of this campus. Stay tuned. Hi Neighbor, now our correspondent, Zach Masters, sits down with an exclusive interview with the new Dean of the College of Fine and Applied Arts, Dr. Shannon Campbell.
I am sitting here with our lovely Dean, Shannon Campbell. We are sitting here in our lovely studio in Beasley. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am doing very well. Thank you for sitting down with us and being able to share your experience, coming here to App and, your plans for the college and everything.
Thank you for having me.
So we had a little bit of an exchange before our emails, and I did a little bit of research about you. And so you come from Denver originally. You were the Associate Vice President of Graduate Studies and a full-time professor at the Metropolitan State University of Denver. And that's a little bit of a drive from Boone, North Carolina. So I'm just kind of curious, how did you kind of find out about us, and how did you kind of make the decision to kind of decide that App was somewhere you wanted to be?
Well, let me just start by saying I'm no stranger to North Carolina. Mm-hmm. Before I went to Denver, I was a department chair and a professor at High Point University. So I was familiar with App because when you are in that triad area, you see App flags everywhere, and I've met a lot of people who were grads. And they always talked about their time at Boone with such nostalgia and pleasure. So to be honest, I had never visited Boone during the time that I lived in North Carolina. So I am truly new to this region. But a lot of things made this particular job appealing for me, and there were a lot of things that I thought would be a good match for me, and I would be a good match for it. As you said, I was the Associate Vice President of Graduate Studies, and what that meant is I managed a portfolio that had a lot of breadth. So I had graduate programs in hard sciences, social sciences, humanities, and if you look at the College of Fine and Applied Arts, we have a lot of breadth. And so, but there is a commonality. There was a common thread that flowed among all of the programs at MSU Denver, and that was that they were graduate, had a certain level of rigor, and those were the things that I managed. And I see that same thread of commonality here. In the College of Fine and Applied Arts, as you know, we have 7 different departments. They range from military science to art, from sustainable development to communication. And the common thread is that in each of our programs, we deeply believe in experiential learning. So something that you're doing right now, where you put the theory to practice, and you will find that in each of our 7 departments, and we lead in that area. And also we value not only thought leaders, but practice leaders. So our students learn from the very best. They have a well-rounded education from people who do the work and from people who create knowledge about the work. And so what we do is we really create the very best thinkers, doers, achievers. That's what we do in the College of Fine and Applied Arts. So I'm proud to not only lead this college, but to be colleagues with the people in the college.
Yeah, I agree completely. Really, I mean, a lot of our stuff here at WASU and AppTV, we do have like the hands-on ability that students have is just, I haven't seen anything else like it in the college. It really, honestly, it allows you to fail in a certain way, and failure is honestly the best teacher, and just having that experience and having that, I guess, level of stress is so important in the growth process and the learning process.
Absolutely.
What really excites you the most about your new position as dean and just the college in general that you found so far?
Okay, if I have to say what excites me the most, it would be the absolute potential here. I think not that we haven't realized our potential, but that we can be so much more, and that I don't think people outside of App recognize what we do here and why we are so special. Like I said, it's not just the thought and practice leadership, but I really believe our college is the place where excellence and innovation converge. We see people with, our colleagues have amazing grants. They're doing things to help the community. They walk the talk when it comes to eroding the line between town and gown. We do so much in this particular college that underpins our community. And so that's what excites me the most, because I really believe in, 1, the experiential learning component, 2, that erosion between town and gown, and 3, making higher education accessible. And I believe that's something that we really walk the talk in this particular college.
If you would like to watch the full 30-minute interview, be sure to watch it on the AppTV's YouTube channel or on 90.5 WASU's webpage. And now I toss it over to Ryan Perrone, who sits down with our new general manager of AppTV, Kevin Wilson.
Hi, neighbor. My name is Ryan Perrone, and today I'm sitting down with Kevin Wilson to discuss his role here at AppTV and introduce him so, you know, everyone can get a chance to get to know him. Yeah. So I wanted to know, like, who you are and the experiences that you've had.
Well, yeah, I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri, but I went to high school in Tampa, Florida. Ended up graduating from the Florida Atlantic University in Boca Raton, Florida, and from there just did a lot of local news work, a lot of video production in college, and doing play-by-play for college TV and radio, and then got into local news, and then had the opportunity to go on the road for 3 years with the Harlem Globetrotters as a PA announcer. So that was pretty cool. And out of there, got into ESPN radio in West Palm Beach, and then moved to Wisconsin to do ESPN radio and a lot of stuff, and then got back into TV news. I've kind of been all over the place, but you know, I've always found that my best experiences were working with students. So once I left kind of the local news circuit, I did some TV producing for high school football games and stuff at the network level, but I got an opportunity at a young age to build a broadcast department with Stetson University in DeLand, Florida, and that was my real opportunity to build something from scratch, grassroots, but work with students, people who were hungry for something new and willing to help me build, and that really got me going. And a few years later, got the opportunity to do the same thing on the athletic end with the University of Louisiana, and start their ESPN Plus, build out a production trailer, and do all those games and stuff. So it's been a lot of places, a lot of experience, but I've always found my way back to the academic end, working with students like yourself who are hungry and really enjoy what they're doing.
All right. So that leads me to my next question. You say you like working with students, you like the academic side. What exactly is your role here at App3?
So I just started as the general manager for App3. You know, and App3 runs on campus, but also out in the community through Spectrum and Skybest, and you can watch App3 anywhere on watchapp3.com. So it's a real opportunity for students to not only be creative, but to also showcase their work at a very, very high level. I think the most special thing about App3, and which is what this show is on, Hi Neighbor, and what you're producing for, but the real special thing is that with a community like Boone, we're only going to tell the stories because we're the only people around to tell the stories. You know, our nearest local stations are in Winston-Salem and Charlotte and Johnson City. You know, these are hour and a half away. So a lot of times the story of Appalachian State and its students, faculty, and staff doesn't get told. And App3 has a prime opportunity to do that. And I think it's really exciting daily for us to be in a position to tell that story in a positive way, in a truthful way, and get that story out there to the community.
That's absolutely brilliant, actually. I love that. So the final thing, and you did kind of touch on this previously because you were talking about the academics and how you enjoyed that and working with students. What really led you to the position here in Boone?
Well, like I said, the opportunity to be a part with students, but to also tell the story in our way. You know, working with students, it can be a situation where, especially coming off the pandemic, where you guys could have come back in and not been excited, been lethargic, been down like most of us were around the country, you know, with things going on in our area, and you weren't. You know, the energy was still there. And that's a natural energy. It's a hunger. It's a desire to get better. And that's something you don't see all the time at the professional level. And so that momentum, that energy, that drive to succeed, it gives me momentum to do the exact same things, you know. So in my position, I'm not overseeing and dictating. You know, I'm more so a servant to you guys. I need to make sure that I'm providing you guys with the best opportunities to succeed on a day-to-day basis. You know, my ultimate goal is to make sure that you guys are graduating into careers and not just random first jobs. You know, so it's my job to make sure you guys are trained, comfortable, and then creative and producing at a high level where you can say, hey, I'm on App3, watch this, and not just, yeah, at college I did App3. You know, it's something you want to be proud of, something I want to make sure you're proud of, and can showcase not only to the community, but your family, your friends. And then for years to come, you got a demo reel, you're building, you're growing. And then years later, when you're making millions, you come back and say, hey, Kevin, I'm going to break you off with $500,000. And then you say, I was proud to be at App3. I'm happy to come back for these alumni events because I remember in this very building where I produced this show, and you'll never lose that memory. You know, so that's the stuff that matters most to me.
I just want to thank you for your time, for sitting down with us and allowing us to do this interview.
Absolutely, anytime.
Bye, neighbor.
Coming up after this short break, I asked students around campus what their favorite spot is on the Parkway so that you can find a great spot to watch the leaves change during peak week.
What brings us to mountains? Is it the possibilities that await us at the top? Are we looking forward to how the challenge will mold us, transform us? Maybe the mountain is inside all of us. After all, we are mountaineers. Appalachian State University.
Hi neighbor, as many of y'all know, peak week is upon us and we wanted to share with you the best places to visit for the colorful leaves. Here's what some of the App students had to say.
And what's your name?
My name is Hannah.
All right, and where is your favorite place to watch the leaves change during the fall?
I like to go to the Tanawha Trail. It's really pretty. It's like a pasture and it's like a cow grazing field, so it's clear and you can see all the leaves and you can have a picnic and it's a good place to go.
That sounds good. I may need to go there. Hey, and how are y'all doing today?
Good, how about you?
I'm good. And what's y'all's names?
I'm Torin. And I'm Christian.
All right, and I just wanted to ask, where are y'all's favorite places to do peak week or just sit outside and watch the leaves change?
I like the Parkway a lot, Blue Ridge Parkway.
Parkway is really nice. I also like there's some benches outside Belk. If you just sit there, you can see Sanford Mall down here. It's really nice. So.
Oh, I bet that is nice looking at all the leaves and you get the great view behind us. All right, thank you guys.
No problem.
Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. And what's your name?
My name's Gabby.
Hi, Gabby. So I wanted to ask you, where's your favorite place either on campus or just in Boone to watch the leaves change during peak week?
I think my favorite, there's like a little rock ledge off the viaduct and you can walk across the side of the parkway and sit there and watch. And I've been going out the past few weeks and I can see all the leaves change. It's super fun.
I bet that's a great spot to see it because you get to see all the mountains and the valleys and you get to see all the leaves as they start to turn orange and reds and stuff.
Gorgeous. But also it's pretty to watch out here and I can see everything starting to change, which is nice.
Yep, getting that time of the year.
Oh yeah.
Hey, and how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. And what's your name?
I'm Riley.
Hi, Riley. So I wanted to ask you, where's your favorite place either in Boone or actually on campus to watch like peak week and see the leaves change colors and stuff?
Definitely always the Parkway. Any of the spots, really, yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Of course.
One of our personal favorites here on High Neighbor is the Greenway Trail. On the Greenway, you have a wide variety of spots to view the fall foliage. There's a fantastic spot where all the trees are bright red. That's all we have for Peak Week. Bye, neighbor.
In 1899, the misty ridges of northwestern North Carolina became home to a simple yet powerful vision: to transform lives and the region through the empowerment of education. Nearly 120 years later, students still feel the pull of this unique place, and Appalachian has remained grounded in the vision of our founders, providing rural access to a sterling education and serving the region. The Mountaineer passion for lifelong learning is cultivated from an early age. Right now, Appalachian's youngest Mountaineers are developing critical learning skills while also discovering that college is in their future, and when they are ready, their College on the Mountain will be ready for them.
So the children that go to school here at the Academy are from all across Forsyth County, particularly children who may be struggling readers. Our goal is to improve literacy for all students K-5, to work with them, bring in the curriculum through Appalachian State University and the Reading Clinic, and support learning across all disciplines.
The experience for a university student here at Middle Fork is really critical. We're able to show them what their practice that they're learning in the classroom looks like in action. So now we have this community of learners that aren't just little kindergarten through 5th grade students, but we also have teachers who are learning together with them. And they really are building a community that the Academy is really proud to be a part of.
So I've been teaching for 31 years, and one of the questions people always ask me is, why are you still doing this? Why aren't you retired? And my answer to them is because we finally got it right. These children are getting to interact with university professors. They are now identifying with Appalachian. They're saying, that's my college. I'm going to go to that college on the mountain. And they're very excited about that. And so now, these are children who could be first-generation college students. And they're already thinking about it and identifying as college students.
I love being here. I love being at the Academy because this is like one of the best opportunities that a principal can have. I mean, the amount of support I've had as a principal, it's just overwhelming. And I just like being a voice for children and to be a partner with the parents and a partner, on behalf of App State University. This is what I love doing, so I'm very thankful.
That's all for this week's episode. Be sure to say hi whenever you see Dr. Campbell or Kevin Wilson on campus. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at hi_neighbor_AppTV to stay updated.
And make sure to follow our Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel at AppTV for more student-made content. Until next time, bye neighbor!